Listen 3000.
What's going on, everybody? I am Cesar.
And I am Zen.
And we are Listen 3000. We are bringing, I was going to say episode with a certain number. No, we're not doing that today. It's a very special episode for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. You can air that again.
Yes,
if you
sir.
want. What a time. But before we get into everything special with these very special guests, you always need to know that this is a podcast brought to you by
Agents of Fandom.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, when he did do it again, I was going to fake it. Nice. But yes, please check out all of the amazing content, articles, podcasts, too much. I don't know. Just, like,
everything.
Tweets getting viral. Things is just, everything's on fire.
Happening. Interviews with your favorite actors.
You know what I mean? Yep, come on, bro. Everyone's snapping right
Information
now.
on the latest cons popping up.
There we go.
It's a lot this summer. You got to tap into Agents of Fandom.
Please. Especially with this guy in here. We're going to get into him too. But yes, Agents of Fandom, please go check that out on all social media platforms and the website, agentsoffandom.com.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, Sound Gallery Studios, for allowing us to be here. This is Sound Gallery Studios right now. And yeah, it's just a lovely space. Come and record some things. Look it up.
Yes, sir. So yeah, let's get into the guests, the special guests we got today. Starting off, we got both of these are returning guests on the show.
Of course.
Obviously.
Family.
We got our fellow Agents of Fandom member, Adam Blevins here.
Man, what's going on? I hope y'all are doing all right, man. Thank y'all so much for having me on. We were talking a little bit about it before the show. I'm such a huge fan of you guys and what y'all have going on.
Man.
And I love this movie so much. So when y'all hit me up to come on and talk, like two of my favorite people and my favorite podcasts to come on and talk about one of my favorite movies of the year so far, this was just a fucking no-brainer. I was excited from the instant, man. Thank y'all so much for having me on.
Thank you, man.
You too.
We appreciate
Stop
you.
It. Anytime.
You already know.
Anytime.
And we got our guy, Dennis, of the Alternate Timeline.
Gang.
You know, you've seen him on all the Wakanda Council episodes.
Yes.
We got our guy here today.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me on again, man. I always love being part of Listen 3000 podcast, man. It's a pleasure all the time.
It is a pleasure for us as well, my friend. So happy to
Yes,
have you
sir.
on. It should be a fun one. Just to see everybody's thoughts. Last Guardians movie, right? At least for
now.
James Gunn's edition of Guardians of the Galaxy. And it was an emotional one, regardless of the, all of our takes on it, but it was emotional.
Very emotional.
I guess we're just going to get into what happened in the movie, right?
Yeah. And we kind of just give our thoughts as we go.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to get to the notes right here.
Lots of notes. Lots of things happen.
There's a lot on
Also,
this
it was long. It's the longest Guardians movie, right? It's like 2:20,
Right at 2:30, I think.
2:30?
Yeah,
2:30.
Under 2:30.
It's almost 30.
Yeah.
Very sturdy.
Yeah.
All right, you want to start? You want me to start?
I can start off and we can kind of jump in and out. So this one picks up after the last thing we've seen from the Guardians was the holiday special that came out.
Right.
So
And what do we know from that, though?
we know they're on Nowhere,
There we go.
and we know they are Mantis is like related to Peter.
Yes.
These are the big notes from that.
Siblings. That's it, right? That's all we need to know.
Yeah, at least going into this.
Oh, besides Kevin Bacon, kind of.
And Kevin Bacon, yes. Yeah, slightly.
Kind of. Yeah.
Right. So we start with them on Nowhere. They're, they're kind of dealing with everything post.
Well, pause. No, you see, the first scene is a flashback of Baby Rocket.
Yes.
And everyone gets in their feels for a sec.
Right.
All the animal lovers out there. Yes. And then then it switches.
Yeah.
Right.
Switching to kind of
The
present
hand
day.
it's like
Exactly. It's the High Evolutionary.
High Evolutionary's hand is reaching out. Yeah.
Right.
And then where you said.
Yeah. So we start off on Nowhere. They own Nowhere now from the not the High Evolutionary, the Collector.
Good one. Yeah.
And they're kind of all dealing with everything post Endgame. They're like the Gamora thing. Peter's not taking that well. He's kind of down on the dumps.
My man is a drunk.
Yes.
He's a drunk.
Yeah.
He's not doing well. No.
Yeah. And apparently, the way they talked about him in the scene, it seems like this has been a thing that's been going on for a while now. Like him kind of just drowning his sorrows in alcohol and things like that. So it's basically them kind of like caring for each other, them taking Peter and getting him in the bed and back in shape and stuff like that. And from there, we get Adam Warlock crashing the party.
By Will Poulter, right?
Yes.
Played by Will
Yes.
Poulter, my guy.
Which is the first time we've been seeing it. They've been teasing Adam Warlock since Guardians 2.
True.
And this is the first time we're actually seeing him in the MCU,
Yeah.
and
He just
he
came
had
out.
an entrance.
He was like, here I am.
Right, right.
Just pulled up.
So yeah, y'all want to talk about him real quick because I know everybody's been anticipating his appearance in the MCU, and like, how did y'all feel about like how he jumped on the scene? Like he came through messing everything up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tearing everything up.
Yeah, y'all want to go?
That's you.
Yeah, man, I'll say, I wasn't really sure what to expect out of him. I kind of figured that the arc we were going to get was going to be something like what we've seen in a couple of the Guardians movies. They start out with somebody as like, really, even with Gamora and Nebula and all them and the whole family in the first movie, they're all like kind of enemies. None of them are working on the same side, which is kind of what I was expecting to see out of Adam Warlock. Like, obviously, he's going to start out as an adversary, and the more time he spends with them, and then he gets to realize, like, they really are, like, they're the people on the right side. That's who you want to align yourself with. But, man, he came in swinging. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting that, like, at all. That first scene when it shows him, like, flying, you can see him coming in, and he's just flying, glowing bright gold. And then he just comes in and gives all, like, 5 of them the word, and then he almost kills Rocket. I was not. I just like all of that stuff in the beginning. Like, if you had told me that Rocket was going to spend the first half of the movie right on the edge of death because of Adam Warlock, and then I would end up being happy for Adam Warlock to be joining the team in the end, like, I would have just been, like, unbelievable. But I really, really liked him. I thought his entrance was incredible, and he had a really, really great arc throughout that was really, really well done. But again, like, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but they delivered on that perfectly for me.
Oh, that. Dennis?
Yeah, man, I did like his interest as well, man. He came through tearing everything up, man, tearing up all of nowhere. Yeah, it was crazy. And then you could see right off the bat, too, how he was going to be. Like, he was clumsy with it as well. Like, he got there, he, like, loses control of Rocket. He's, like, clumsy with it. Because that, like, right off the bat, you're like, oh, yeah, he's the baby. There's the baby Adam Warlock.
Right.
But, yeah, he was cool, just like what Adam said, man. He was cool. And he did what I kind of expected. I just wanted to see a little bit of a tease of this Adam Warlock character. Give me hype for what's next with him. And obviously throughout this movie, he's a little child mentally and just kind of growing up a little bit as he goes through some things to get on the good side. So yeah, it was I'm very fine with what happened with Adam Warlock.
Right.
Feel that. For me, it's going to probably be the same with all of us. Obviously, Will Poulter, I'm actor boy, and he's fire, so I already knew he was going to kill it regardless of how they went about the role. I know a lot of people were upset that he wasn't in it a lot, but I thought he was in it the perfect amount of time. Like, you know what I mean? He was used when he needed to be used, and now he is on the team. Like, what else would,
Yeah.
But and I thought his performance was great. It made the most sense that he would be a baby, like exactly what Dennis says. So I don't know. I just thought it was perfect portrayal for it, and at least realistically, if it makes sense with what the story is. So no, I thought it was dope. And I just can't wait to see more because I know we will. I just wonder when and how.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. So next, is the flashback next? Is that the next part before we get to the Orgo Corp thing with Gamora and the
Yeah, we needed to ask y'all that. We were trying to figure out where the flashbacks are. Is this the next one?
It's a couple flashbacks.
Yeah,
So
and they kind of
spread out.
right throughout the
Wait,
movie.
we're already not even saying the full thing though, because of Rocket though.
Yes.
So because it was what Adam said when he shoots Rocket, right? He shoots him, right?
Yeah.
Or like hits him somehow.
Yeah.
Blast him with his arm.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Rocket is down bad,
Super down bad.
They go and try to, I guess, put him on like a table or something, and they try to save him somehow because he's definitely dying. And then they realize that when they did, what did they do?
There's like
they put something on him.
Yeah, like the
They put those little med packs
There you
on him.
go.
Right.
They did it on Mantis's arm. Like, she had a snapped arm, and they put it on there and it just fixed it in an instant. I hadn't seen those things before, but I was like,
right. I was like, what is this?
We need those in real life.
Right, come on, James Gunn, help us, help! No, but they did that, and it turned the kill switch on.
He has
Or
like a
set
kill
it
switch
off.
on his like his heart. Yeah,
which obviously no one knew. It's kind of sad that stuff always ends up being on Peter though. Like, he ends up always doing something.
Yeah,
she's like, why would you? And he's like, I didn't know.
Right.
But yeah. That happens, so Rocket is down, and they are now trying to figure out a way to save him. They realize that his tech is Orgo Corp. Tech is the word, right?
Yeah.
And they need to. Oh, and they need a code. They need a
code
to turn
bypass
off
the kill switch.
There we go. Yep. So yeah, we got to go to Orgo Corp is the next thing for them. So yeah, it is a flashback next, actually. What is the first one? Hold up. Thank you, Wikipedia. All right, so he's unconscious. He's Baby Rocket. He was being experimented on. We saw that. All right, Rocket befriended the other test subjects, the otter Lila, the walrus Teefs, and the rabbit Floor. The High Evolutionary was impressed by Rocket's intelligence, but was furious that it exceeded his own. Do you want us to just break down that scene, like what actually happened?
Yeah.
Because he was trying to get Rocket to help him with his experiment, right? Which was to
he kept
build
all right.
these
So like
animals.
High Evolutionary. This is the first time we're seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
He's. It seems like in this universe, he's a creator. It's wild creator.
It's like it's horrible, but yeah, that is what he's doing.
So he's like taking animals and like turning them into these like humanoid people
weird, bro.
and creating these earths and these places and his own societies and things of that nature. We learn in this film that he's behind the Sovereign, the Gold People, Adam Warlock.
That was a wild little. I was like, "Ooh, I like that."
Right,
Yeah, that
right.
was dope.
And Rocket is a byproduct of these experiments and these experiments that he's been creating to populate these planets and stuff that he's been taking over.
Yeah.
So like the ones he's been doing, he's been trying to like make more humanoid people monster things, right? But they keep coming out violent. So like Rocket had the fix for making them more kind, I guess, or more acceptable for society.
Like that.
Less
Right.
aggressive, yeah.
Less aggressive, yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, he
And he
did
fixes
that,
it,
and
right?
that kind of he fixed it, but it also like set off a switch in the High Evolutionary that he's like,
Oh,
he
okay.
couldn't.
With you barring up,
Yeah.
the kill switch, and then he got they're like crazy. Okay, anyway,
Right. No, but yeah, he does that, and it kind of like he's never been able to shake that. It's like, yo, how can something that I created be smarter than me and be able to, you know what I mean? So I felt like that was an interesting
like so you ever
concept.
ever had children? Ever heard of children? Before?
Yeah.
What's the point? Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
Evolution, your name? Like,
Right.
Come on, bro. Look at me, barring. Look,
Hey.
what we doing? This is a J. Cole album.
Right.
But anyway, so when we get back, because that is the first couple scenes,
Yeah.
for the flashbacks, right?
Right.
Right, clarifying with y'all, is that correct?
I think there's another one too where he's sitting with.
Does that happen already? That's what I needed
I
to
think
know.
that
Yes.
was before the one that you're
That we
talking
just
about.
said. Okay, no, but I'll say that. That's
He's
necessary to his
sitting
name.
Looking at Counter Earth, and that's when they talk about the whole sky thing.
And the rocket,
Yes.
and he sees the rocket for the first time.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Thank you for saying that. But that's because that's all that scene was when they spoke to. And for a sec, everyone was like, "Oh, look, a nice conversation."
Yeah, and
Evil ass. Yeah. But all right, cool. So then,
It's Orgo Corp, right?
yeah. So
And it's also owned by High Evolutionary.
It
right?
is. It
It's
is.
also owned by them.
Yes.
It is. Yes.
So wait, but before you even do that, Nebula calls Gamora, and that's even now because they're like, "Hey, we about to go do this," and the Ravager's coming. The Ravager's coming. What you mean?
Right.
And then Gamora's there, and then he's like, "Huh?" And
Talk about how they entered though, because they did pull up on them on the ship.
oh, they did.
But we got
That was
they had like
hard.
a. He's just opening up portals on the ship. And they just all walking through.
What was
Which
this
is a crazy
sorcerer?
scene.
Is that a squid human? What is that?
I think his name is
Caught me off
Lynn.
guard.
His name is Nub.
Lynn.
Yeah, me too.
Lynn?
I was
What
not
you say?
expecting that.
Me neither. I wasn't expecting that neither.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so that's their interest. They come in. We get to see Gamora, which is the Gamora from Endgame,
Yes.
the one that
Sweet. The other Gamora.
the other Gamora, the one that's not
not
dead.
our Gamora, but now she's our Gamora. It's so weird.
Yeah,
Like 2014 Gamora.
2014
I think.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
like the old one.
There we
yeah.
go. That's
Right.
how you do it. 2014.
and she's not. She don't know them like that.
like at
That's-
all. No, like not even like that. Like she don't know them.
Right.
She knows Nebula.
Yeah. That's about it.
That's really it, right? Last time she saw Peter, she kicked him in the. You know what I mean? So
Did you like her and Nebula's like their little sister hump thing when they were doing the
That little
every
grunt
time
they
they
did.
that was.
yeah.
Thank you for calling that out. That was amazing to me because that's probably exactly how they're just so aggressive with each other. Like that made the most sense. That was so hard.
Right.
But yeah, so they are here to help. They say that they're gonna give him money or something, but like you told, off
Yeah,
the
I
pod,
don't-
they
yeah.
didn't come back to no money. So,
Nah.
and she was happy at the end, so
Right.
it's fine. But yeah, they go to Orgo Court, and what is the plan? Right? Don't they like come up?
So
with
the
it, or do
plan
they show
is they
us?
need a code to bypass the kill switch on Rocket's heart. So they have to go in there. They're thinking because this is where all the tech was created. So they're like, all right, so maybe they have a database. We can go in there and take that, bring it back, and just you know what I mean?
It never goes like that.
No.
Because once it's the Guardians and they are idiots, and two, it's a movie. You know, it's Marvel. It's not going to be that easy.
Right.
So they go in there. Also, the cameo was fired. I don't know her name though. She played Ratcatcher's daughter, the Ratcatcher.
Oh,
that's her.
Daniela Melchior.
Thank you.
Okay.
Melchior.
Yes.
Go ahead, Adam.
Thank you.
Yes.
And she killed that scene too. Like her character was dope. Super dope.
Yep.
The whole situation with how like they low-key like catch you up with what happened in Endgame and Infinity War to the crowd through
that elevator
that was
scene
dope.
and
Just
stuff
dope
like
how
that.
they wrote how that played out. Yeah, that was really dope.
Yeah.
And also like him thinking he got like the old him back. You know what I mean? Like trying to impress.
Impress Gamora.
Yeah, because if you think about, you know,
So
because we watched the other movies and other Guardian appearances before the movie, and seeing that the first movie, he's such a different dude, low key. He's just super single, solo, dolo. Like I'm not even caring about anyone just as much as everybody else. So in this, he's like, let me see if I still got it, and he did it. He did it. I don't know. He did and did not.
Until he did.
There we go. He did. Yo, what's going on? He did it until he did. Fire me up. So yeah, during Orgo Corp, they got to get through some goo.
The goo, yes.
The goo.
Let's hold on real quick. Let's talk about Orgo Corp real quick because the way this looks, James Gunn, somebody sees, I don't know, but it looks like flesh, like human body things, and you got to touch the goo to open doors, and it's nasty. Like even we had a cameo from Nathan Fillion, who's been in a lot of James Gunn stuff, and they have these bodysuits that look like flesh. Like that's the only way I can describe it.
You're
like
right.
It just looks like
it's nasty. Looking.
Yeah. Like everything just looks like it just looks like
disgusting.
Yeah,
is the word. But also cool though. Like the colors. It was weird.
No. It was a cool thing. It just was different. You know how James Gunn gets.
It was
different.
gooey.
Yeah.
What are you about to say?
Man, in that scene, I was gonna say that scene where they were waiting for Gamora or waiting for a Nebula to like break in through that flesh and the color. Like Gamora and Peter get down on one knee. And Peter gives that whole speech to her, and then they're like, "Can you shut up?" He didn't realize everybody, and then they're going through all the colors and everything. I mean, that was like, that was one of the funniest parts of the movie.
It was.
They're like, blue is green, green is red, yellow is red. And then they're like, how was you supposed to know that? And Drex was like, it seemed intuitive. And me, I was just like, I was cracking up. That whole scene was so funny.
The humor was hitting in this movie. Obviously,
it was.
It really was hitting in great spots.
Yeah.
But yeah, so somebody move us past this. What happened?
So in Orgo Corp, everybody kind of has their missions. So
right.
Drax and Mantis are going down. What were they looking for? I forgot exactly what they were looking for specifically.
Whoever know? Do they know?
It didn't seem like they knew. They were just walking through.
They were just going off.
Yeah.
Another all-time humor scene when she made him fall in love. Like she's like, you're madly in love with this man here.
Right.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
It's just like looking down at her like every time.
She does this all the time.
That was wild. That was wild.
I love their chemistry. Ever since the holiday special, I love their chemistry together because they're like Drax is so literal of everything he says.
Honestly,
you know what I mean?
Honestly, bro, since Guardians 2, like once they met, they were just like, y'all weird. You know? But like it made sense all the time. It was so great. No, you're right though.
Yeah. It's such a wholesome relationship.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It
Like
is.
it's pretty funny to watch every time.
Yeah.
They're so simple.
It's cool to see.
Simple.
It was cool to see Mantis' powers too. Like I was kind of wondering, like how is she in action? And they kind of showed that off in the holiday special a little bit, but then more in this scene too, which was pretty cool. It was like I always wondered how does she fight? You know,
right?
And she can do things.
Nah,
she was
definitely
kicking,
can.
man.
Nah, she
like,
definitely
literally
can.
she was kicking. She
can do things.
Yo, she was getting busy.
And now, so speaking on this scene, speaking of Mantis and Drax, this is one of the scenes that kind of got me. I was kind of on the edge of my seat because like I felt like a lot of the characters had close calls in this movie, and this was definitely a close call for Drax. So like them being down on that floor area, they wanted the people around him wound up getting tipped off. They're not supposed to be here, and a fight ensues, right? And Drax gets wounded. He gets shot twice by Nathan Fillion's character. It was, and like the way that happened, they got, because I'm already going into the movie thinking, all right, somebody's not going to make it out
here, right?
And I'm thinking to myself, Drax, you know, everything that Dave Bautista's been saying, like, you know, press, this is my last time, you know, we had a good run, da. And so I'm like, oh, he's done. They hit him once, and I'm like, all right, he can make it back. They hit him twice, and I'm like, not Drax right now.
I thought he was done for.
Right. So I thought that was a crazy scene, that whole fight, because it felt like so many things were going wrong. Like Peter and Gamora, they kind of took the one girl kidnapped. They kind of took her hostage, and like they're trying to get out of there as well. They're trying to get the files and trying to figure stuff out, and stuff is going wrong in their end too. Everybody's just trying to get out of there, and it's just like it was a lot happening at once. You got Rocket back in the thing. It's just it's a lot. So yeah, from there,
that's when Peter was able to get through. He was able to do what he did and get the pink lady or whatever.
Yeah, to get her to
flirt his way.
To get his way up out of
put
there.
everybody on the spacesuits for zero gravity or something like that.
Right.
And that's when Reasons came on by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Which was amazing as a black person. I can't lie to you. I thought of my dad when that scene, like, I'm like, oh no, they didn't just play Earth, Wind, yes. And it was dope because it was like, to me, like at least a callback to the, not to me, to everybody probably, the first movie when they're floating, right? Like, was that on purpose? That is on purpose, right?
When they're in prison at the end, they're trying to get out the joint.
Yeah. Because that scene is so memorable,
iconic,
a super iconic scene, and I felt like it was just a play off of that too.
Yeah,
and then you hit us with the song. Yeah, that was
right. I feel like there's a lot of little nods in this film. Well, I'll point them out as we go towards them, but like it was a lot of little nods to other scenes in other Guardians movies, which I thought were cool little tiebacks.
It was,
that he did. Obviously, this
it was like a memory
last.
lane movie, low key.
It was,
but like in a crazy way,
right?
Like,
but it's like Endgame, but just for the Guardians movie. Like you know, like every 15 or 20 minutes, they say something from like one of the previous movies that you just like kind of smile at. But like in this movie, it was just like that for the Guardians movies. Like every 15 or 20 minutes, it's just like if you watch these movies several times,
like and
you know them well, there's so many rewards in there for you.
Damn. Yes, it is. Yeah, for sure. So, in this scene, they find out that the code that they're looking for to bypass Rocket's kill switch is missing. So Peter winds up seeing, I guess, one of the high evolutionaries, one of his right hand people in there. He doesn't notice it at the time, but they see them there. So
he bumps into him.
Yeah. So once they find out that code is missing, they're trying to figure out, all right, so where's the next place we have to go to try to get this handled so we can,
don't they kind of like improv this, or they just like,
because they lost the suits and they I think Groot comes crashing in with the ship. That's how they get out.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly. He was like, oh, did that look cool?
No, that was hard. That was so dope.
So,
like,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say the comedy was crazy. Like, even the callbacks in the same movie were fire.
So from there, do we switch to the?
I never seen.
Yeah,
because I think this is when they come up with their names.
Oh, is that flashback?
Pretty sure.
Okay,
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And yeah, that's when you get teeths, because why is it? Because he got special teeth. What did he say?
He's like the walrus one.
Yeah, so he has the large teeth.
Large teeth. Yes. Sorry, I was just trying to get the words. Then he had floor. There we go.
Yes.
I was. Why are we on the floor?
I was just on the floor.
Right. Floor. She was
like, I'm laying on the floor.
Laying on the floor.
There you go.
And Lila.
I don't know how she got that.
I don't know. She inspirational or something. She already had her stuff going. She been there for a while.
It did feel like that, right?
It was like prison, man. Yeah. Like she looked like, I'm just being. It was animal prison.
Yeah.
They sitting there like she was obviously the one that's, you know what I mean, the leader of the pack.
Yeah.
She definitely been there a while. She thought about that name.
That's real.
That's all.
Like, where'd she even find that from?
You know what I mean?
Right.
She started the name convo. When we get out, we gonna need names. I'm Lila. Who are you? Like, she was like, I'm together already. I just want to know, do you are you put together?
What if they couldn't figure that out? Like, it's just like,
that's too on the spot for me. Like, good thing he just saw a rocket. It would have been Sky.
It would have been Sky.
Yeah.
Sky Raccoon is crazy.
Oh man. But yeah, it's that flashback, which is a very heartfelt flashback. Every time you get to them, honestly, even if you're an animal lover or not, it's just too emotional. Like,
Yeah.
Like every time, it's just like, we know that at least one of y'all not gonna make it.
Yeah.
At least, right? You all are thinking it. So it's like when you get there, like, oh my God. Okay,
right.
This makes sense now, though, to the story of Rocket, though. You know what I mean?
Right,
we'll get there.
Yeah. Question real quick. For y'all, maybe y'all can remember, because I'm trying to find it in those, but I don't see it. How do they find out they're supposed to go to the planet, the counter Earth?
Because I thought that's when Groot and Peter, right? They pulled up on High Evolutionary set them up. That's why, right?
Yes.
and they got called to come into the room.
That's exactly what it was. Okay, because
I think so. Yeah,
Gamora told him it was a trap. And
Yeah,
he was
there
like,
you go.
"It's not a
He's like,
trap.
"It's not a trap."
It's not a
Yeah,
trap.
yeah.
If you know,
It's a face-off.
It's a face off. Exactly.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And it really was. That was hard.
Right.
That callback too.
No, right.
But yeah, so that scene happens, and he notices the guy that he bumped into. Right.
Yes.
And then he's like, "Oh, like this is going down now," because then he kind of calls him out, and High Evolutionary's like, "No, let me get my shit off first." You know what I mean?
He's got his finger up. He's just like holding his finger up.
Yeah, the whole time they're walking in the room, and he's just like, "All right."
I might have muted myself by accident. Which one is it?
Oh no, you good?
Check.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
There we go. There we go.
Good to
Oh,
me.
okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear me. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm like, something is different. My bad. But yeah.
So
and
we're
then,
saying they're on Counter Earth now, right? With the whole with them on okay.
Yeah.
But
So we forgot their entrance on Counter Earth when they first land, and it's all the animal people, and they're kind of looking at them like, "Yo, they never. I don't think they seen humans, I guess, except the High Evolutionary."
and then
his
Drex
people
chucks a ball at
the little girl.
Yeah, because even if they're human or not, you should know not to chuck a ball at a baby.
Right.
You know?
And-
But that was crazy.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's kind of like it's not a fight, but there's chaos.
Yeah, it is.
Right. With I don't know how to call these. What are they? What's the name for them? We gonna
I
call
don't
them
really. I don't
humanoids?
remember their
No
name.
idea.
The animal.
I don't
Animal
even think they
people.
bothered giving them names because they knew they were going to blow up the planet.
Seriously, man.
Right. It's
Y'all
like,
had numbers anyway, so it didn't really.
nah, that's facts. That's
Jesus,
facts.
this is so sad.
And it's wild because I thought about that while watching the movie. Like, these people have real lives. Like, I remember them going into the house of the people that was helping them. They're kind of telling them, all right, so the High Evolutionary lives over there. They're showing the pictures and stuff in there, and they have like family photos, graduations, weddings.
It's wild. You're talking about they got the lives, bro. Not to cut you off, because they had a fight outside over drugs.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Wasn't that a drug deal? And the dude was sort of
Yeah.
Yo,
When they're
we
driving,
were in Kensington.
When they're driving to the High Evolutionaries, they see a lot of wild stuff going on there. On that
it was the hood of Counter Earth. I didn't know what was going on. I just was. I saw it and I was like, "Did we all just?"
Wasn't it like a squid, like selling a bunch of like kid, like rabbit people?
Oh man, like trafficking. What is happening on Counter Earth? Because isn't that when he realizes like it's just like Earth? Like, it's like, You didn't help, dude. You did the
like,
same
you really
thing
didn't do
and just
anything.
made them look weird. You just made a worse version than what we.
Does your perfect society include such and such selling meth to cockroach heads?
Right.
He's like, I guess you're right. I just got to try to kill
He was like-
people now. Like,
That it was wild because it's like you just realized this now. Like he just brought this. You know what?
paying attention.
Death. You're right. I'm gonna do it all over again. Thanks for that.
He was so nonchalant about it too. He's like, oh, like he did this. I'm sure he's done this before. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, yo, all
It had
right,
to have taken a lot of effort, though, man. It was a full Earth,
Bro.
It was a full Earth.
Man, he old.
He had a
Man,
Statue
tell
of
him how
Liberty
many
of
times he's
himself.
done it.
exactly,
'Cause,
exactly.
Like, he says it one time when he first said it. He's like, "Then I must like tear it all down and start again." Like this is just like, well, this may have been the 100th time he's done it. Like, he's just getting so sick of this shit. Like, guess I just got to start over again. God damn it! Like, I don't know how many times he's been doing this, but it must be for a long time.
Like,
Right.
bro, he making
Yeah.
full planets and societies and just murder. Like, oh Jesus. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're on Counter Earth,
Yeah, we're on Counter Earth,
and we get the first F-bomb too. That was cool.
Yes, we did.
It was tasteful
It was tasteful
to me.
Yeah.
It was nice. Nicely used.
Apparently, I was watching the interview with James Gunn, and he was saying that necessarily that wasn't in the script. He kind of just told Chris
yeah,
Pratt to do that,
yeah.
like in his head, like in his earpiece, was like, "Yo, throw that in there when you say it." And he did it. He was like, "Sometimes we do stuff like that, and it works, and it doesn't work. They might take it out.
Right.
We kept it this time, and it worked out." So I thought that was a fun
That is dope.
anecdote. Yeah.
That's cool. Fun fact.
So yeah, not only are they dealing with these animal people on Counter Earth trying to get to the High Evolutionary, Adam Warlock pulls back up. And
Oh, that timing was crazy.
yeah. We kind of skipped some of his pieces because it wasn't big to the overall
We're
plot.
trying to get to the end here. Yeah. All right, damn it.
But-
Have you seen the movie? All right.
Right.
You know what happens.
Exactly. But he pulls up, it gets crazy. He's trying to take Rocket off the ship, and it gets wild. A pig person comes, like the pig robot.
Oh yeah,
And pulls up and is like, yo, I'm here to take Rocket. Everybody's trying to get Rocket.
Yes.
So, that happens. They kill the pig.
I'm trying to get to-
Gamora like threatens him with the little pet friend thing.
What's his name?
Oh
Blurp?
yeah, that was awesome.
Was it Blurp?
And Adam had a funny
Is that the name?
moment
Blurp?
there.
Yeah, that was a great.
He was like, hold up now.
Wait a minute.
Don't be rash.
Don't be rash.
He really killed his
hilarious.
performance. yo.
Nah, facts. He really loved that little animal. Like, nobody knows what it is. They
No.
just like, I don't know what that is.
Does it fly? It had wings, right? Or it just got hands? What is it? What was on
I
it?
don't know, but that was the kid in him. That's the kid in him.
There you go. No, you're right.
True.
Oh man, I started thinking Michael Jackson and Ben. That got deep. that was his mouse.
So through all
I was about to say I was trying to get to when Drax and Mantis. Isn't that right now? Or
yeah,
when Drax
a
and
lot of
Mantis?
this stuff was happening like simultaneously.
That's why it's
so
very
like
hard to-
Peter and them is dealing with that stuff. Drax and Mantis are supposed to be waiting and taking care of Rocket. They're supposed to be watching the ship, make sure Adam Warlock didn't come and pull up like he did. But they said no.
Drax and Mantis.
Drax wanted to get on a motorcycle and go try to go to the High Evolutionary too. So
That was
yeah.
He lied to Mantis too.
Yes.
We went right to the
So
show.
gullible,
Right?
She's so gullible. He's
Don't-
like, or she's like, we get on. We're just going right over there. He's like, yeah. Like, she just drives off. It's like, why do you? He's been lying to you for like 5 years. Why do you believe anything
Exactly.
That he has to say?
Exactly.
and like immediately he went the other way. It was like she's like oh
I'm like, yo, why don't she just do the mind thing?
oh wow.
She could have just did that, but you
Didn't
know.
even think about that.
She definitely could have.
Yeah, right?
I told y'all it's both of them. She we wanting to go on the low. She just you went all the way to Earth to get Kevin Bacon. You thought that was also a good idea.
True.
You know,
That is true. That is true.
Very true.
So through all of this, we finally get Peter confronts the High Evolutionary. They have a crazy dialogue. That scene was crazy because you get that dialogue, and then every kind of all hell breaks loose because it's like, yo, we're not leaving without the codes to save my friend. Like,
Yeah,
we're
right.
not, you know what I mean? This is not what we're doing. So, how does that fight scene start? I know Groot has a bunch of guns.
Yeah, that was
This
cool
is
because
the-
Peter told him to hold his guns with, like, he put it inside him. And
Yeah.
that was like a real cool, like,
Yeah,
all
that
right,
was
we're gonna do
fun.
it now. And then he like opens himself up. All the branches take guns. It was a pretty cool scene.
and the direction in that scene was crazy. Like with the spin
Yeah.
around with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It was so hard.
Yeah.
That's the face off one, right? That's not the hallway one.
No, that's not the hallway. one.
No, yeah, that's not the
You
hallway
get
one.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
But I do
does the-
like.
Sorry, what did
Go
I say?
I was gonna say I do like how during this movie they split up into like different kinds of teams, like Groot and Star-Lord together. I feel like we haven't really seen them two.
So
That's just
true.
like just them two, you know?
Yeah.
And it was cool because both of them are like, you know, we know Groot's attachment to Rocket, so like that was a big time, like because they had just seen like what the High Evolutionary was doing to Rocket on the table. They didn't show the remember they didn't show the
They didn't show the
audience,
audience
but they
that,
showed-
yeah.
Yeah, and that was like I think Groot and Star-Lord felt that the most, and I think that's why they pulled up. And I
You
thought it was
spit-
pretty cool to just have them two together there.
Nah, that's facts. You killed that. True. I was about to say is the last flashback yet? The bad one?
I think it is. It has to come up soon.
Adam,
This part.
wait, didn't y'all both see it twice? Who saw it twice? Help
I
us.
haven't.
Nobody.
It's somewhere right around here because like I don't know if you want to consider the last one is like right before he wakes up.
Is it right
Just
before?
because. Oh yeah, but I think there's one more, but
After
it's just
that.
like the short one. As you just show, yeah. So like I think this is like the next to last one, but it's not when he like escapes. I think the one we're at now is the one where he finds out like they go
There we
through all the
go.
stuff and then he comes back.
He's
and
being
like,
mean.
He just told him that they're not going to the purpose. That would hit me so bad because like they were talking
Good
about
call.
earlier, like. Well, I don't know why they all thought they were going, but like I thought they were going to go too for whatever reason. And then when Rocket brings that back to them, and you can see he's just like so upset, and then they don't even really realize
What's
so
going
many
on.
of those flashback scenes hit me, but those last
Yeah,
couple
that
was
one-
really
no,
like, he's
you're
telling
right,
them
bro.
like he's telling them like we're not going, and then when the High Evolutionary turns around, he's like incinerate them. I was like, oh my god, you got to
Yeah.
get them out of here right now. I'm about to freak out.
Yeah.
But
And
I
again,
think that
I'm
was
sorry.
right here.
No, you
Oh no, I was
that's
I think
perfect.
that was where we were at.
Yeah.
And I was about to just call out. That was definitely one of the best moments I think in his acting for the High Evolutionary in that scene. The way that he even said incinerate them, like he looked at him like, "Didn't you know I was gonna say that?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's like, "Incinerate them."
Yeah, it was like, yo,
like, duh. Like,
you're
what do
supposed
you
to be
mean?
smart.
Like, why did you ask me that question? Just do it. Like, yeah, he was nasty in that.
Yeah, he was.
Nasty.
How nonchalant he was about
That's what
just
I'm saying,
like everybody else was so beneath him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like just that.
His delivery or sorry, I mean,
Oh no, go ahead,
go ahead.
go.
when he said but, you know, when she brought it something to him and she was like, but, and he turned, he was like, but, like freaked out at her. I was like, holy shit, this dude, you can't bring anything to this dude and not have it ready to go 100% confirmed, or he might just fucking kill you.
Nah,
he was so menacing.
Facts.
But yeah, so we get that very important flashback that Adam called out, and then
Does he go back to the cage during this joint and tell them yet?
yeah.
Does that happen in this one?
Yeah, I think that was when he goes back to the cage.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, so is this all once that whole last bad flashback? Is that all one scene?
I
that all
think it
together?
might be. It might be.
So,
It might be.
Yeah.
It was
Like,
a
we didn't go
10-minute,
back to
like,
regular
close to
Guardians
2
for a
minutes.
sec, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
So
that hit
so
crazy.
he goes back with that information and tells Lila and Teefs and Floor that he's been lying to y'all. Like, we're not going out. He's trying to keep trying to get us out of here. Luckily, it seemed like Rocky had been prepping to leave here for a long time because he had everything in the once he told him that,
you're right.
he went right back to the jail.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of spitting. Was it, or was it just he's just really smart with it? Like, he already had it. It looked like it was just there.
Yeah, if you ain't noticed,
You
he
might be
was
right.
already stealing things.
Yes,
There we go.
Yeah,
Yes.
one by
That's
one,
what
he
it
was
is.
picking out the
One
little
by
pieces,
one,
like one by
picking
There
one,
we
all
go.
the flashbacks.
No, y'all
I
right.
love that development by him. I love
Yeah.
it.
I didn't peep that. That's hard.
Yeah,
That's hard.
And he's out the cage. He opens the cage up. He opens their cage up. Was like, yo, we about to get out. I know where the ships is at. We about to get up out of here.
Yeah. My
then
guy, he was on it.
He hugs Lila and High Illusionary. Bow. He shoots her.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. I saw the hug and I was like, it's over right here. Just when they hug, the moment was already bad. You felt this flashback when you get into it is bad, and it stayed bad, and then it's like y'all all gonna get like it was too good for a sec.
Yeah.
It was all horrible. I'm like, this is gonna go wrong. Oh, there he is. You know what I mean? But nah,
That scene got me because
yeah, it did.
I feel you. Like, I kind of knew it was coming. We knew something bad was gonna happen, but it was like the way it was. Bow. It was just
Yep,
like that,
right
and
there.
you're like, what happened? She looks down. You look. She drops, and then you see the High Evolutionary behind her, and it's like, this is happening right now.
Right, exactly. It's like we here now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
And
Got
then
it.
he has other people with him, right? He's like, yo, just get the rest of them, and then Rocky is like, all right, let's go. He looks behind him, and everybody's done. They all got hit, and I'm like, oh no,
that murked me a little bit.
Yeah.
like I was like my
That got
stomach
me bad.
dropped. You know, I was like, all right, yeah, they all had it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Like Rocket's face in that. Also, I don't know who to say he did a great performance. It's the person who does the motion capture, right? Because like unless
Well,
that's
Sean
just
Gunn
CGI,
does the motion on.
that's what I'm
Rocket,
saying.
and
Well,
Bradley
Sean
Cooper
Gunn
does the
smoked that. You know what I mean?
right.
Like in that scene, Rocket. Oh wow! Like the emotion in this raccoon was crazy. You know what I mean?
When he jumped on his face, that was actually one of the scenes that got me the most. Like after he just watched all
you're
of
right.
his friends get murdered,
Right.
and you can see him just like shaking and the tears come. They did the animation. Whoever's in charge of the animation did such a great job.
A1.
But then when he jumped on his face and started clawing it and was just screaming, I was a mess because it's like you could through a fucking raccoon, you could feel that emotion coming through like a CGI raccoon.
That's
that
real.
Shit was real, man. That shit hit me hard.
Yeah, you saw the blood splat. I'm like, he's going for it.
Yeah.
Like, how did they get him off him, or he just stopped? I'm trying to remember.
I think he just kind of quit.
No, he stopped.
He wound up stopping.
Yeah.
Because he's
Probably
like,
thought he was dead. Yeah, like,
facts. He probably did. And then he also thinking, yo, we got to get out of here.
yeah,
I got to
true,
get out of
true,
here.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was still twitching a little bit in the back, but yeah, he was done for.
Yeah.
Wild scene. One of the wildest scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
from there, Rocket escapes. He gets on the ship, and then the rest is history. You know, getting him back to
got
the
on
Guardians.
Rocket.
Yeah, right.
Which is like another callback to the first one because he's the one that escapes from the freaking jail. And
Ooh,
he's
come
like,
on.
I've escaped many times before. I can do this.
Yeah.
And like that's how he
you
escapes.
are
man.
spitting, damn it.
Yeah, it's just the callbacks, man.
No, the callbacks were amazing.
Nah,
Yeah, that was a
facts.
great one.
Yeah.
I swear to you, like after watching this one, like from us watching the first two before this, I'm watching this one and I'm thinking to myself like, man, it's so many little things in this movie that make a lot of lines from the previous movie just hit so much harder. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like watching Rocket's backstory made me think of like the conversation he had with Yondu in Guardians 2 when they're like arguing on the ship.
My God.
And like he's like they're just going at it and he's like, yo, I'm just like you. I know like he's and then we find out that Yondu knew about the High Evolutionary the whole time. So when he's talking to him, he knows more than Rocket thinks he knows.
Yo, Kevin Durant.
You know what I mean? And it's like it's just so it's layers, man. Shout out to James Gunn. He did his thing, man.
Oh, that was the wrong one. Sorry, that was
You
so.
gotta say it over again.
It still was climactic, even though it was anticlimactic. You know what I mean? No, you getting that though. Okay, you killed that. You killed that. He said, "All right." Sorry, let's get back to the movie though.
No, right.
Y'all spitting though.
Right. Hey, man. So we jump back to present day.
Yeah.
I know Groot and Peter jumped out of the high evolutionary ship, correct?
That's when he starts blowing things
Blowing
up.
stuff up. Yeah. So they got out of there. And the planet is blowing up. He's destroying the planet, basically. Everybody's trying to get out of there. Since they didn't stay on the same page, Drax and Mantis and Nebula is trying to get into the high evolutionary spot while Peter and him is getting out. So it's a lot of like everybody's going that way, they're going this way, somebody's over there, and it's just chaos. It's a lot of chaos.
The whole movie.
They did the classic falling out of the window, like you could see them falling from behind.
Oh,
Right.
that was great. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
We lose the Sovereign. We lose Aisha. We use right
mom,
mom, Adam's mom. We lose her in that scene. He sees her ship blow up.
We got to talk about that because the way that he already knew was crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Once he seen
Just
everything
his
happening,
face,
like he
bro.
looked and it was like, oh no,
Damn.
and he's trying to go save her, and it was just too late.
Like I feel like he knew it was already too late. You know, the way he's just like, oh, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
That was wild.
I don't know if y'all saw that tweet that was like Adam Warlock flying full speed towards Aisha yelling or screaming mother is the realest thing he ever did.
Yeah, for real though. It really was. I mean, if you think about it, that's what changed my man, low key.
Yeah.
He went through it. He was like, you know what? I don't have anybody. Y'all seem nice. All right. Like, I'm going to go over here.
So from after that, we got
Everything is blowing up.
yeah. It's a lot of chaos. Quill and Groot do get the code from
Yes.
I think his name is Theo. Yeah, Theo.
From his head.
Yes, they get it from his head microchip thing that he has on his head.
Yeah.
They get back on the
Groot
ship.
had like wings.
Yes.
Ooh, God.
Those Groot. Hold on.
First
We
off,
got to talk about
Groot's
Groot.
look the whole movie. Down to when it was nasty looking, but when he had a head,
When the spider Groot.
that was just looked crazy. But oh my god, I was glad that I'm glad we got rid of it really quick. But they all looked fire. It was like whoa, the design of every version of Groot in this movie was nuts.
Yeah. Nah, it definitely was. So yeah, he flew. He had the wings, and that was crazy.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
No,
Like,
definitely wasn't
same.
expecting that.
Right.
I didn't even know we could do that. You know, like I was like,
either.
you can just make wood win. True, I guess.
Yeah.
you know,
I don't even know not to jump back, but like speaking to Groot and how that fight with him and Peter and how they're like back to back.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody peeped, but it's a part when he kind of shields Peter, like he like drops down,
Yeah.
and it's like the wood shields
Oh,
him.
that was
And you see the
hard.
bullets like eat it up,
Hit
and then
it.
he like jumps out of it. Like it was, I'm like, yo, Groot's really nice, man. We got to give him some
Groot
credit.
that's low key. Groot's dumb underrated.
Yeah.
because every time you
Yeah.
think of Groot, you think of the first one that died. You think of Baby Groot, or now this version that we just got. Because not much has happened in between physically with him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, people forget he OD.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Don't give him no weapons, man.
That's a sturdy tree.
Right, that's a sturdy tree.
Sturdy wood.
So from there, they get the code
Yeah.
and they upload it. So this is our final. I guess it's a flashback, kind of like a afterlife type of situation.
That's why I didn't even consider it a flashback. I see what y'all was saying before.
Yeah.
Because it's not a flashback. He's like in the moment dying. And, you know, like it's almost like, I don't know how y'all want to think it, but his spirit is somewhere else.
Yeah.
And he's, right? Isn't that what's happening?
Yeah, no, yeah.
And he talks to his friends again. And he's like, oh, I'm trying to join the gang. Like, they're like, we're cool. Like, don't
Yeah,
even worry
don't
about
worry
us.
about us, yeah.
But he's like, I want to slide. And you think he's going to go. And then she's
Lila's like,
nah.
no. And one thing she said during the scene that hit me, she's like, yo, it was your story the whole time.
That was...
And I'm like,
That was all right. I've got to break that one down
Let's
because
do
the
it.
fun fact of that's fire. I don't know if y'all saw in the interviews or even like years before. James Gunn has always said that he had this story. Like the Rocket, third movie was always going to be Rocket's story the whole time. So that even hit harder in that line. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, okay, James Gunn popping out on the screen in the right. Okay, I see what you're doing. All right, you did a cameo without even
To
cameo.
compound that scene, man, like to compound that scene that was already hitting within like Peter giving him the chest compressions.
Oh,
For
yeah.
me, like, I'm sitting here thinking we got like an hour left. I know Rocket's not about to die on this table,
Right.
But I'm like, he's giving him those chest compressions, and Gamora's trying to get him to stop. And this is like, this has never not worked in movies when somebody's like not ready to give up on somebody.
Yeah.
And there's somebody's beside him telling him like, you got to quit. And he's just not willing, man. Those
Damn,
two side
you
by
taking me
side.
back,
switching
man.
Yo,
back
I
and
got
forth.
chills on my neck. I ain't want to say it,
again.
bro.
I'm like, man.
I'm like, why am I emotional? Damn it.
That scene was crazy, man.
Bro, also
Like,
Peters.
that really
I mean
hit me.
Peters. Chris Pratt smoked that scene. That was probably his best
stepped
acting in
up
the
big time
whole
in this movie.
this movie, bro. It
Yeah.
was like, whoa, you can get like that. Okay, all right.
him and like everybody.
Everyone
I
killed.
felt
Everyone
I felt
killed.
everybody's best performance in
Yes.
this movie.
Yes.
Like you
Absolutely.
felt it.
Yes.
You felt it. You know what I mean? Like even if they didn't have like even if it was a funny line or like some little thing, they all got to get their stuff off. Everybody got to get their stuff
Yep.
off. You know what I mean? I thought that was really cool.
Down to Vin. Look at Vin getting more lines. Come on, baby. I was like, look at that. This is Dom right there.
Right.
You just heard. I know y'all heard it and was like, oh, okay, that's Vin Diesel.
I'm mad they
that
ain't let him
last
say
one,
family.
Yeah.
What did he say?
That's
amazing. If he said family, I would have lost my
It
soul.
would have made sense though.
Nah, I would have broke. That's what I'm saying. I would have broke down. I'd have stood up and just threw something. Oh, God.
You know they thought about it.
They
You know
had
thought
to.
about it.
That's
I
probably
don't think they did. That's two right there, man.
It's probably somewhere on the cutting room floor somewhere.
Okay, maybe.
They might have let him say it and it just didn't work for the scene.
Everybody
or something.
laughed because they knew. And they just couldn't keep it.
Right. Like that's too spot on. Like,
Right, there you
come
go.
on, bro.
But yeah, so Lila says, Rocket, go back to life. And then he comes back.
Comes back to life.
And
So
everyone is reacting to it.
yeah,
Right?
and it's funny because this scene. So Peter, Gamora, Groot, Rocket, they're on the ship right now trying to escape the High Evolutionary's planet.
Good call. Yeah.
While Drex, Nebula, and Mantis are on the ship. And they found
already
all these
did.
kids and these animals in the like the
Yeah,
basement of the ship, and
it
just
became Noah's 3 arcs. Like it just, yes.
and they're on the ship and they're like they were arguing before. It was a scene before Rocket calls them and they're kind of going back and forth. Like I think that's the scene when Mantis says Drax is stupid. Like he's just stupid, but he loves us.
this was
You know what I
good.
mean? And he was like, yeah,
That was a great scene.
that was a great scene.
Acting
really
and the
good.
writing of that scene was dope.
Right.
Right.
Because it's so simple.
Those
You know what I
two-
mean? But wow. Yeah.
Yeah, those two going back and forth in that scene was like, I think may have been like the highest quality acting in the movie when they're screaming at each other. And then Mantis just like tears streaming down her face is like, at least he may be an idiot, but at least he doesn't hate himself like the rest of you.
That hit me.
And then
out.
like, you know, she's already said in this movie, you can't use her emotional powers to like influence her friends. And then Drax is like, you can see he's like for the first time ever finally like taken back by something. Like it really hit him for her to say that about it. And then she like puts her hand on him and is like, forget. And then he just kind of goes to being funny. But it's like, man, like, so we get a quick laugh out of it to kind of laugh it off. But it's like,
It was deep,
man, she
though.
really does not want to have to do that. But like, she can't hardly bear the thoughts of like actually hurting his feelings like, after saying something like that. That scene really hit me.
That was
Yeah.
wild. And good call. That was the first time I think, that Drax ever reacted to somebody saying something to him, like making fun of him.
Yeah, and like you can see the emotion.
Yeah, that's
in
why.
him, you know
Again,
I mean?
what you said, I said that's why she's like, nah, all right.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Wow, that was crazy.
And that was dope that we got that, and then just jump into Rocket,
Right.
Calling them is like, "Yo, Rocket's good," and everybody's like, "Wow!" Like, they
Bro.
all, you can see the relief on their face.
Bro, I was about to say when Nebula and them hear his voice, like the acting then was, I'm like, all right, Karen was going great.
Nebula was great in this movie. I thought
Again,
she
wasn't
was
it
so
Karen
good.
Gillan?
yeah,
She gassed for real.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the progression of Nebula throughout any Marvel thing we've seen so far is low key insane. When
just
you
to-
really think about it, one underrated character progression right there.
for sure,
For real. For real.
I-
Even in the go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, bro.
I said, even in the beginning, like they looked to her as almost like the leader.
Yes,
almost.
bro.
Like she was kind of like, dude, Star-Lord is a drunk, and then kind of what's his name? Rocket is in his feelings in his head or
Yes.
whatever. And then, when things start to pop up, they're like, what are we doing, Nebula? Like they look to her as almost the leader.
Yeah,
That's real.
Which is kind of crazy how far she's come.
Wow,
So,
like she literally was trying to murder y'all a couple years. Literally was trying to murder you. I remember. Like, you
right.
know.
just to
Insane.
just to
Her
piggy.
relationship with sorry, can we get?
Oh no, go ahead, bro.
Talk
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
But I was like, her relationship with Rocket is like kind of underrated. It's not talked about a lot. Like there's like a 5-year period where
Come on.
the two of them were the only Guardians left
Yes.
alive, and they spent
That's
all that time
crazy.
together, just the two of them. So it's like all of them are like excited to see him and hear his voice, but like Karen Gillan's face, like y'all were talking about, you can see that extra bit of time.
Yup.
It's like right there on her face, man. It's-
Bro, spitting right now because again, when we did the rewatch, we didn't watch all of Infinity War and Endgame, but we literally skipped through to the Guardian scenes. So like when you see that scene in Endgame, when they first get to link up again, because Nebula was with Iron Man the whole time,
Yeah.
and they hold hands and sit on like that. Literally, when I saw her react to his voice, I thought of that scene. Like I was
Right.
like, damn,
Yeah.
like that
Because it was literally the
that's
only person
deepest
you had for 5 years.
The only
And
one.
he was
ain't
almost gone.
And the only other friends he had in his life was the people you learn now.
Right.
It's like, all right, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Y'all said everything
So
I was
was
about
that-
to.
Whose decision
Oh,
was
he
that?
took it from you? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, bro.
No. That's perfect.
Right.
But it's just like, what were you saying, Dennis?
whose decision was it to leave it just them two? Because like, it wasn't James Gunn, right?
No, that would be the writers. Whoever wrote
all that stuff.
Whoever wrote Infinity War
Marcus
Endgame.
McFeely, I think.
There you go.
Right.
Is the ones that did Infinity War Endgame.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which is so interesting because I know there was things that he didn't like about it. But it's so interesting because we thought about it and we talked a little bit off the pod and it was just like, damn, you low key knew some of them decisions though. Like some of them change the entire. It changes the universe, like literally. So it's like, that's so hard. You know what I mean? But that's a whole other topic.
Nah, for sure.
He capitalized on that one though, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure. He flipped it. You think about it. He definitely
No,
did.
facts. Just piggybacking on what y'all saying, I definitely like they gotta put more respect on Nebula, man, because like they're so pivotal to like a lot of the stuff that happened in MCU, and I feel like they get a lot overshadowed just because Iron Man, Captain America, all these things that happen. But like in Endgame and Infinity War, those big tentpole films, they were very important. You know what I mean? So like just to see all this pay off for them now with this final film and seeing her character progression is really dope to see.
Nah, it really is. Shout out Nebula.
Yeah. So from here we get they got to go back and save. They got to save everybody.
Oh my God,
Peter and them, because they're on their way off the planet, so they spinning the block, they coming back around, and they got to get back on the ship to save them. And this is where we get the hallway scene, right? Is this?
Yes.
Nah, hold on. This is they're trapped though. Nebula and them are trapped down in that little thing with the monsters.
Oh, yeah.
And the little kids.
And the kids,
And the kids, yes, that speak that weird language.
Ooh, and that matters because of the ending. So we do got to explain that.
Yeah.
Because how do you want to call out the girl? Val.
Phyla-Vell.
There you go.
Phyla-Vell.
Because that was like that's important a bit.
Yeah.
Right?
They didn't really spotlight her crazy during these parts.
But they did though. Because she was the only girl talking. You know, to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was low-key like she was running the kid. I'm joking, but it was like she was the main kid that they spoke to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And we see a lot that those scenes were, I also think, were very important with where Drax ends up at the end of this film.
Absolutely.
Because it's showing his relationship with children and how he's can be like a comforter and a father figure.
The end don't even make sense without that. So true. We should speak to that a little bit.
Exactly.
Even with those, do we know the name of the monsters? Y'all know the monsters from Guardians.
I forget
the one
them,
with the 1,000 mouths. It's
The Aboleth.
The Aboleth.
Let's shout out to Ryan. Ryan wrote an article about the Aboleth. Check it out.
Come on, Ryan.
Yes,
There
Ryan.
we go.
Nice.
Right
Shout
now.
out Ryan.
Ryan.
Check out the article.
Gang.
Agentsfandom.com.
Yes.
Nice.
No, but I was just trying to break down her. How do they even figure out? I guess Mantis just pulls up and is like, "Oh, I like that."
The High Evolutionary finds them, and he drops them into that pit.
That's why. Bang. There we go.
Yeah. He drops them into that pit and was like, "Yo, we about to get rid of them." And I thought this was another close call scene for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching this, I'm like, "Yo, how they gonna get out of this?" Those three monster things I remember from Guardians 2.
Yes.
The whole team of the Guardians had a little trouble beating one.
Yeah.
Now it's 3 of them, and it's only 3 Guardians.
Bro.
So it's like, yo, I don't know how y'all gonna get out of this.
And I'm even thinking these 3, like, what are y'all gonna do specifically? Man, just sleep. Like, what we doing? Like, oh wow. But the way that she became, she became Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah,
Like,
yo, wow.
like real quick. Because I don't think did she use her powers? No, right?
She kind of did. Yeah.
Oh, I thought she just
She
touched.
tamed him, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you. With her powers. I thought it was no power. She just like touching it. And then the animal's just like, yeah, we like you. I got you. That makes more sense.
That's a wild
now. It was harder now. She's nice.
I didn't think that she used her powers either.
Wait, see? Maybe Maybe she
don't know.
didn't. Because when she does, they almost make a sound or something.
Does.
She puts her hand, but like, isn't that after she already walked up a little bit and they're not reacting? Then she puts her hand, because most of the time she puts her hand on them like, all right, let's go back to
they're just
it's
scared.
a thing, right? Yeah, because when she does it to Drax and says
humans,
forget.
they eat batteries.
Exactly. Yup. That's what she said. Yeah. They eat batteries, not humans. That's why she's like, don't be scared.
So is that how she figured it out? Because she touched them and like figured out that they need battery? Because how the hell she know they eat batteries? Now I got more questions.
Maybe.
I guess they left it up to interpretation.
Maybe.
So I guess we don't even know if she used her powers or not.
Right.
There we go. So either she's Dr. Doolittle and she got powers. She can put people to sleep, or just put people to sleep. There we go.
Right.
But yeah, they get through that.
And that basically like kind of null and voids a rescue mission because they're about to pull up and rescue them, and they just pop out the side of the ship with those 3 monsters, and it's like, yo,
like taming them too, like on their back. That was hard.
Which really really cool scene. Mm-hmm. So yeah, from there after that we get the hallway scene, right? Because they're about to run, and Rocket's like, nah, I'm not leaving. We gotta finish this once and for all.
Sorry, real quick. Every Rocket line after he woke up was like he was Oliver Child. You know what I mean? Like anytime you heard him say something, it was super important. You know what I mean? Just meaningful. Yeah. And every time it was just like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like I know everyone felt the same way. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was
dope.
For
sure. And I was like, let's go then, right?
Yeah, you know, like it made you hype for him. Like
I felt like that was dope though, because obviously he's overcoming his trauma.
Yeah.
It took this experience for him to overcome all the trauma he was running from throughout the whole series of the movies.
And he had it the worst. Bro.
He really did. Like, so it's like now we're back where it all started, and like, yo, he's like, yo, we're not leaving. I'm not leaving. We about to finish this. So that leads us to the hallway scene, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
One of the this scene is crazy. This is one of my. It has to be one of my favorite fight scenes in the MCU.
I don't even want to talk too heavy because there's a lot of heavy talking with this film out right now. You know, and it's phenomenal, but it's like. It is, at least in my opinion, it's easily top 10 best fight scenes in maybe the whole U. Maybe. Like I don't want
for me, and I don't
who
even
see. I know that's
crazy. I was trying to be generous with the 10.
That's why I said 10 because it's like.
But I feel you.
We've seen a lot. You know, we've seen a lot of fight scenes, right? That's what the MCU is. But it's just like, come on, that. I never
the teamwork.
The
teamwork,
the direction,
the music choice. Like,
and for me, it's just like it's tough to compare a scene because the two fight scenes to me, I think that come to mind, like in terms of the best ones, are like in Shang-Chi, the one in the skyscraper when he fights the dude with the mask, and then obviously the iconic like the Winter Soldier on the street when they meet for the first time. Like, those are the two that I think about the most. So it's like it's so hard to compare a scene like this because there's just nothing about them like overlap. These are completely different. These are like big group fights versus like one-on-one fights. But it's for me, it's like it's in that 3 to 5 range, like undeniably. Even like as hard as it is to compare, I can't think of 3 or 4 scenes that I have more fun both times that I've seen this movie watching than that one.
Yeah,
no, you're right.
Literally, only thing I can put it super over memorable. Like I'm gonna always remember it.
Nah, same.
Yes.
Same.
And honestly, that's what matters more. That's why it hits like that. You know?
Yeah, it definitely does.
Like we get Rocket crawling on Groot again. Like come on.
Nah, right,
bro. The way they were switching was crazy.
Yeah, bro. The Nebula when they like punch her and she like breaks and falls apart and then puts herself back together. That part was so tough.
I gotta go watch this movie. I hate when we do these reviews, Joe, because then I gotta go see it again. Spend more money. Damn it. Oh.
Yeah. But no, that was such a great scene. Wow. Man. Yeah. So
is the next one because I might be. Too early. Is the next one when Rocket sees a High Evolutionary again, or does he sees the baby raccoons first?
Not yet. So it's almost there. We're almost there.
Okay.
So the High Evolutionary peeps that everything's going on. He's like, all right, they're invading the ship.
That's when he loses it.
That's when he loses his mind, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and his second in command, she's like, yo. You might want to just quit while you're ahead. Let's go to the other planet. Let's regroup. Let's figure stuff out. He's like, no. She's like, yo, we about to take control now. They all pull their guns out like, yo, nah, we're taking over. It's a mutiny.
The look when he said no, she looked at him like, you know, what are you talking? Yo, like it was so funny to me. It was almost like a hood movie scene. Like it was like gangs was like you. Who you think you talking to? That was wild. Oh wow! It just switched real quick.
Nah, it did, and then he just like overpowers and just like levels the whole room.
Yeah, that was nuts.
And like I don't think I've seen nothing like that before in MCU. Like that was crazy. That's just a crazy display of his power.
Yeah, it was.
So we got that. He's sending these. What did he call them? Hell spawns. These right. They're like these super. Militarized version of these animal warrior people. I don't remember. Yeah. And he sends them to nowhere because nowhere is like popped up. He called Kraglin. He called Kraglin to come. So the nowhere ship is out there. The nowhere ship got guns. They shooting stuff off nowhere.
We so mean. We forgot about the
whole Kraglin
Cosmo joke the whole time.
Yeah, we did.
We gonna spit it in there real quick. Hold on. So the whole movie, you know what? We'll talk about it after the fact. But there's reasons we probably forgot that. Because when we watch the redo of all the movies, Kraglin isn't in any of Infinity War and Endgame, but at the end of Guardians 2, he is in Guardians. Like, he's literally like, I'm in the gang now, thanks. So, like, it kind of is confusing because then they just pop up in the special, and then you still don't see them a lot. you just see them together. It was like, you know what I mean? It's like in and out kind of confusing thing. But anyway, so Kraglin the whole time is trying to figure out the Yondu,
The whistle.
and shout out
arrow.
Yondu. By the way, that Yondu.
Little
That's going to
cameo.
pop up is fire.
Yeah.
Just the way they did it real quick. Like, you thought we wasn't going to put my man in here? Like, it was hard. It was hard.
He probably had one day of makeup just for that one scene.
Probably got a bag. Respect to Michael Rooker.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's fire. Yeah. But anyway, so that's what Kraglin's doing the whole movie. And Cosmo is kind of like, they're doing a, if you can do it, I can do it better kind of competition throughout the whole movie, kind of. At least in the beginning. And then Cosmo, right, because they're trying to teach Cosmo also her powers. Yeah. Right, how to use her powers. She's going to be elite.
Yeah, Cosmo's nice.
She kind of crazy, bro. Yeah. But anyway, Cosmo wins. Kraglin's mean is like, you're a bad dog. So throughout the movie, when you see them, Cosmo's whipping the ass every time and anything. They're playing like poker or something. Yeah. They're playing some type of game. And it's like, please tell me I'm a good dog. And he's like, nah, you a bad dog. Like, it's so funny. But anyway, that's what's happening with them. So when Kraglin gets called, they're very much like, what? You know, like it's out of nowhere because when they get attacked, they get attacked.
Yeah.
There you go. Caught up with Kraglin and Cosmo.
Right.
Yeah.
He sends the hell spawns out and like they're all trying to figure out like how are we gonna stop this? We gotta end this guy. He's wilding out. So is this when Rocket pulls up on him?
I think what happens is if I'm not so they get all the kids, the little kids out, right?
It already happened. Okay.
So when they meet outside, Rocket's like, we've got to save everybody. And Peter's like, no, we already did. And he turns around and he's like, no, Pete, like, we got to get everybody.
Okay.
And then when they go back inside, because I remember this is one of my favorite shots of the whole movie. Yeah. When I was the most worried for Rocket, when he's standing there in that doorway. Oh, yeah. He's come through so many times and it's just like 5 seconds on him, dead silent. I was like, oh my God, he's getting ready to die right here. And then, like, that's, I think, when they go back in for the animals, and that's when they have their encounter with it. Because like he's standing there with the he goes
all
to
the raccoons,
and he sees that he sees it on the thing. He finally has to acknowledge to himself that he's a raccoon, and then that's when I think the big encounter starts.
I was about to say because this is when my man finally said Rocket Raccoon. I almost stood up, damn it. Like I really, that's why I kept saying I felt like he was my kid the whole, like that's my brother or something. Like he said Rocket Rap. I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Said the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I was so hyped, bro. I was I'm sweating now again. You know what I mean? But that was honestly one of the coolest. The only other one I could think of like that was the Scarlet Witch moment. Like the only other time where the name that we didn't have their name and it just hit in such a meaningful way. The writing of these, y'all be talking too much down on these Marvel Johns. Y'all gonna need it. You know what I'm saying? The writing is crazy. Just the way they made it make sense. And that man has never called him that. We might not even see Rocket for a long time. I'm being hypothetical, right? But like that's why it hit so crazy. You know what I mean? On the last show in his own movie, it was wild,
right?
And then he busts his ass real quick, right?
Yeah, and they about to kill him, and then Rocket's like, "Nah, I'm cool. I'm not gonna do it." So they leave him there. The ship is going down.
Right, Batman.
Right?
Yeah, they got him out of the way quick.
They did get him out the way quick.
Crazy.
They did get him out the way quick.
It was crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're about to get off the ship, right? They're getting all the animals off, and the ship is pulling off, and Peter's running late. He's running late. So she's trying to jump out. He's trying to get to the ship. He jumps out. So this is kind of like a mirror scene of the Yondu scene when they're in Guardians 2.
That's why it was nuts because I'm like, oh, is this happening?
Yeah.
Because of that. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, don't do it the same. No, not the same thing. No. That's so mean. Like, you know?
Yeah, nah, this was another one of those scenes that got me. Like, I'm like, bro, I remember when this happened. I remember him floating and he hits the debris and stops. And I'm like, yo.
Bro, do you remember, bro? Bro, we're next to each other. I'm not over exaggerating. Literally, we're doing this. Yo, bro, I didn't know. So when you see him get saved by Adam
Warlock,
right? Bro, we're just like, oh my God. Like, it was the funniest thing because literally we both going crazy. Yo. Right. Anyway.
So I'm the whole time I'm like, yo, they not going to do Peter like that. Yeah. I ain't like this. You know what I mean? But yeah, Adam Warlock comes through, saves the day. And this kind of caps off like this present day situation. They take everybody back to nowhere and we get our final goodbyes with everybody.
That scene hit.
Yeah, and they kind of they have a little talk and everybody's like kind of telling everybody, all right, this is what I'm about to do now after this. So we have Drex and Nebula stand on nowhere, kind of taking control of this area and raising the kids and you know living life. We have Mantis going off on her own with the Aboleth. and kind of traveling the
I'm gonna need
galaxy
a
and trying to find
spin off.
herself.
What we doing?
I wouldn't mind a
I
special
need
sensation
something,
or
a little short or something. Oh, I don't like that. Look at that face.
No.
Oh, you liked it? I was scared. I thought you were like, not sure about that one.
I'm good with that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I like
But honestly,
this.
yeah, I don't even need a whole thing. Right, special presentation.
It'll be
I
cool.
just need to see something.
Right.
That's such a wild concept. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
needed,
yeah.
and she got 3 of them. Like I'm like, all right, let's see Dr. Doolittle and work. Let's see.
Yeah, she gotta
Right.
go find herself. So,
Right,
yeah.
right. And then we got Peter Quill. He's going back to Earth.
Yeah, that's
And it
This
was
was
one
cool.
It was,
was
right?
cool.
Right?
This was cool.
It was one thing that they kind of hammer home for Peter in this film that we didn't touch on, but I want to bring him now. Basically, him going back home. But was it Mantis or Nebula? One of them pressed him was like, "Yo, you have a family that
Mantis.
you left,
Mantis,
right? Mantis,
yeah.
right?"
Mantis, yep.
And she's like, "You have a family that you left, and you know, you doing all this stuff, and you didn't ever think to go back and check on them and see what happens and." And it feel like it sparked something.
Mantis was like Dr. Phil the whole episode.
Yeah, she
was
I mean,
spitting.
the whole time she's like, y'all need to get it together.
Yeah.
You know?
No, right? Yeah, that's very. And I thought that was cool. That was a cool little thing because obviously, like he's been all over the place emotionally. Obviously, he lost his mom, he lost his father, and like the only real blood family outside of Mantis that he has is on Earth, and he's been running from Earth ever since. So like that was a cool character progression and resolution for him in this film. I thought was cool.
I agree.
So real quick before we get to the very, very end, post credit scenes and all that, how did y'all feel about where everybody ended in this movie and where they're going and leaving off?
You go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, well, just before that, man, I thought Star-Lord was dead at that point too. When his face popped up, I was like, "Oh man!" So they teased us with all these other deaths in this.
That's how I felt. Yes.
Star-Lord. I was like, I thought for sure he was gone, but yeah. Anyway, it was cool to see them get him back, and then, what's her name, Gamora, feel like good about it too. It was kind of cool to see like her feel like okay, everybody's good, right?
Yeah.
But everybody leaving off. I think it's cool Star-Lord is back on Earth because it kind of puts him close to Earth stuff, like Avengers stuff. If that happens, he's a call away, you know? I think that there's some potential for that. Let's see. I thought Drex they did what they could, the Drex exit or whatever, because now he's like the father to all these children. Like he's seen as like the dad, which is cool. I thought that they could have killed him off in a warrior's death and him go finally be the father for his family that's dead or whatever. Mantis, it makes a lot of sense going off. I don't know what Nebula is doing. She's not part of the new Guardians, right?
That's my question too.
Well, no, she's just running
there
things
with
She's running on nowhere.
She's running nowhere.
Running
Okay,
nowhere,
got
yeah.
you.
Which is interesting though, right? I thought about that because I'm like, she can still get busy. So
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, nowhere's in good hands with her, I'm sure.
Nah, for sure.
But yeah, and then the new Galaxy team, I'm happy with it. I want to see what's going on there, obviously. But it feels like it's going to be a long time till we get some of those characters. But and then Groot's freaking huge now.
Kaiju Groot.
Yeah,
Right.
Jesus.
Bro, I swear he was sitting on a rock. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. When he sat on him,
No,
he
yeah.
was like, all right, buddy. Like, yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Adam.
but I was satisfied though. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I kind of echo everything that you say. And like for me, the two, or like, well, for everybody, I didn't feel like any of their endings were forced. Like they didn't unnecessarily save everybody. Like I was really happy that everybody survived, and I wasn't like the Peter death was it was one of those things where like I really thought he was gonna die because just like you said, he was the one person we didn't get a fake out death for like the whole movie. And I was like, oh no, they tricked me. And then when he saved him, I was like, I'm really glad he saved him. But I was kind of like, ugh, like don't fade me out. Don't fade me out like that. That scared me. But like for the two endings to me, like where we left things off that hit the most for me was when it was Drax, obviously. I think it was Nebula that turned and said to him, she was like, you weren't born to be a destroyer. You were born to be a father. I was just like, I was a puddle when she said that to him. And then when Mantis was getting ready to leave with the obelisks and she turned around and like they were looking at each other, he like Drax is tearing up. Drax hasn't ever showed any kind of emotion, and like it's so clear James Gunn has done such a good job like developing relationships like with all these different characters. And then Gamora, like we hadn't had a chance to talk.
I was about to say we got to spit
Gamora.
about. Yes, thank you.
Yes,
we
yeah.
didn't give her enough love in this joint.
Yeah.
Because they did such a good job. That's another, kind of to tie this a little bit back to what we were talking about earlier. Like James Gunn has said, it was never his plan to kill Gamora. Like he wanted to see the same Gamora through all this story, and he was able to take what they did, like in bringing a completely new version of her into this movie, and do it like all the stuff with her and Quill hit so good. Like him feeling like they like trying to talk her back into it and say like, if you can just open your heart. And her just not even having any kind of interest in it the whole time. Like, I really felt for Peter, but I was also like, you need to fucking leave her alone. This is not your woman.
Come on.
Like, you just got to let her do her own thing.
Right.
But then, throughout the whole movie, they bonded so well. And then at the end, they've got that big hug. And she's standing over there, and then she just kind of turns and walks away. And I'm like, I get it, but goddamn, I wanted her to fucking hug him, or like to hug everybody and be a part of the group.
Right.
But then when she was back with the Ravagers, like it made so much sense, and it was so good to see her be really, really happy. Like even though this wasn't maybe James Gunn's original plan with her, I think like he took everybody and just did such a great job with like tying everything up in a really satisfying. Like I thought the send off for everybody was just perfect.
Bro, I hate you, Adam. You just smoked that.
Nah,
He took my whole word for word, ball for ball. That's like, no, you killed that, because what I was about to say was while we're thinking about the ending, I'm like, damn, bro, we barely got to talk about Nebula. And it wasn't on purpose. It was just like the way that she was. Gamora, sorry. Not Nebula, I'm sorry. But bro, obviously Zoe Saldana always is killing roles. But it's like that scene when they are fighting, like her and Peter, and he's like the whole time, like, bro, when he says you're not even a Ravager, and then she's going off back on him.
Yeah, she's
like, bro,
about to attack him. Yeah, and Nebula had to step in, and that was a hard.
But I'm talking. Is that maybe? I'm
that's the same one.
It is when she's
when they're on the
saying,
ship
like,
and
I'm
they're
not
going back
even.
and
You
forth.
don't know me, really.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I have no attachment to you. You low key a creep right now. Like she's not saying that, right? But she's just like, bro, you not getting that. You and your own thing, and I'm my own person. Like the way they wrote that scene out, the lines were crazy. I thought I was watching like a Marriage Story or something, like the movie. You know what I'm saying? It was wild. And definitely what you said, Adam, like when you see everybody hug and she just like look at it and walk away, I broke a bit. Like I was like, that hurts so bad. Like, you saw it on her face, like, that's not me. You know what I mean? Man,
like I can see a version of it where it was me, but I know this isn't
that.
me.
Oh, exactly. You see it on her face.
What did she say? I
Bro,
bet we had fun.
I bet we were fun.
I
was about to kick somebody, bro. I'm like, y'all better get together on the side. What are we doing? What are we doing? God, that hurts so bad, bro. I like I'm too emotional for this. It's too much.
Right.
Nah, but Adam killed it.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to touch on the Ravengers real quick. I really found them interesting in this film. The little bit that we've seen in them, I wouldn't be mad at a Ravengers project or some type of Ravengers content later on, like just exploring those characters.
Yeah. Why don't we just get a little like Guardians people thing, like a little presentation? You just see a little update on everybody. Yeah, like I just need a little.
I would
something.
like that. Yeah. I just thought that was cool because you got Sylvester Stallone and Zoe Saldana now, and you got these other characters. Like, wasn't one of them Pete Davidson?
Yes, actually.
Right?
No, but not one of the Ravagers. They said he was one of the
animals.
Got you. Like he was the one. The last animal, the weird one at the very end.
Yes.
Yeah.
With High Evolutionary.
With High Evolutionary. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, you just got all these interesting characters, and it's just like, yo, I would love to find more about them. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Good call to just the Ravagers being portrayed really fire in this, because it made me forget that I wanted my other cameos. Like from the last, remember we watched the second one, and at the end you see Michael. No wait, who was that? Vin Rames, right? Yeah. You see Vin Rames, and you see Michelle Yeoh. Obviously, they can't get Michelle Yeoh back because she's now with the Shang-Chi franchise. But it was like I forgot all about them. Not in a bad way, but it was like, oh, y'all made this cool. Like I'm satisfied. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was dope how they went about them. Yeah. Like when you see her back with them, and it just looked all like it was wholesome. You know what I mean? It was cool.
Definitely. So yeah, we're at the end here. These are the post-credit scenes, and we get our new Guardians team.
Yes.
That now comprises of Rocket Raccoon. We got Groot. We got
Super Groot.
Yeah, Super Groot. Right. We got Cosmo. We got Phyla-Vell. We got Adam Warlock and Kraglin.
And right? Is he in it?
Yes, he is.
Right?
Yep. Kraglin's in the gang.
Dude, I think we still got. Say her name again. I always get it wrong.
Phyla-Vell.
Yeah. Do we call out like because I don't even think they reference why they picked her or like that. Did they show us her powers? No.
They did do a close up on her eye, which I know from people that know her from the comic book said that was a specific callback to that character when they showed it was the eye and then she had like the glowing hands, right? Yeah.
I just had questions. So was that maybe like, obviously they didn't tell us this, but do y'all think that was like high evolutionary, just like created her and she has those powers, or how does she have that now?
I don't know.
Obviously, we didn't get none of it, but out of nowhere, you were a whole guardian, and a second ago, you were like an adopted, no parent child. Like you were just like any other.
She didn't
kid.
even speak English before that.
No, and now you are glowing. So I was just wondering, like, what happened? I know it's probably a lot of time because Groot's bigger, like, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, what happened?
Yeah,
that was all.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait to explore that.
We don't even really know like if he created them, right, or if they're just like where they come from. Like I don't.
You
we don't know
spitting
where
again,
they really
bro.
Where they really came from.
Because I just assumed he created them because of the loop that he had her on.
Yeah.
That was the only reason.
That was her running on the thing the whole time?
the whole time.
Wow.
That's
okay.
That's the only callback to her being specific, like
he was
in the movie,
focusing
like,
on her. Right. Okay.
But if you take but Dennis is right, like I don't mean he made him. Like
I mean,
could have been this girl. He could have maybe gave her her powers, but they didn't say it, so you don't really know.
Got you.
You know?
Yeah.
Like maybe all them kids got powers is what I'm saying. If that's the case.
That's true.
What is this, like Stranger Things? It's like a bunch of 11s. You know?
A bunch of 11s.
Like, 7-11.
No, but that's it.
I wanted to know more about the high evolutionary's powers too. I wanted like a more breakdown on it.
They never really explained that
exactly
either.
Was it?
Wait, is it time to talk about him?
If you want,
y'all go ahead.
All right, ready? Here's my only thing. I just feel like Zen was saying, "Oh, you need to talk about some pod," because I was saying I was prepared because I just feel like, can somebody get his name right?
Shakuti
Wuji.
Yes.
Shakuti Wuji. Thank you, because I do not want to disrespect him at all. He is a phenomenal actor, and he was very good in this role. But y'all keep talking about him being the king, and I'm gonna hurt somebody. Y'all gotta stop trying to make him the new king. Because you know what I'm talking about, right? All right, so I'll give more and more backstory. Everyone online, this movie's phenomenal. At least for most people love it, right? And everyone's performances were really dope in the movie. So seeing a villain, because this is a part of the talk, seeing a villain that was just sadistic and was just crazy and not really having a motive besides like, this is what I'm gonna do, and whatever happens because I'm crazy and I'm gonna kill or do whatever. That type of mindset. We even seen one of those. Most of the last villains, kind of sometimes you can debate with them. Like you're like, oh, maybe this is something that I relate. You know what I mean? Type of. They're trying to connect more. This one, we don't have a connection. They want the crowd to just hate this person, right? And they did a good job at that. But I feel like everyone is saying that he's like the greatest villain since like Endgame, and he's the best villain in Marvel, and that's a little much. Yeah. You know? What do y'all think about this topic?
Man, I think he was really good. Like for me, I mean, he's definitely not like like I've seen some people crowning him like the best. Like for me, when we the first time I came on with you guys, we did our villains ranking and stuff. And for me, like obviously Thanos is going to be top tier, but it's going to be tough for anybody behind Thanos to beat out Hela for me, just because like Hela's like an all-time great for me. But I'll put him in like that top.
Yeah, where's he at? Oh, he's in the 5.
I put him in like the 4, let's say 4 to 6 range for me as well. Because like I really do, I wanted to shout out Ryan again. Check out the Agents of Fandom YouTube. Ryan got a chance to sit down in person and talk to Chukwudi Iwuji about this, and he got to talk to him about like doing all the animal cruelty and torture stuff and how to handle that, because like that's just gonna make everybody hate you. Like immediately when you start fucking with animals,
that's why we hate them.
Like, that's going to everybody's turn. Everybody's going to turn against you. So it's like, for me, and I think it's just like everybody's going to interpret like everybody handles their villains differently. Like for me, based on how much I hate somebody, like I'm going to rank them higher, and I could not stand this fucking
That's
guy.
what it is.
I was so. Oh my God, I was so mad. I hated him throughout the whole thing. From the very beginning, when he reached his hand in that cage and was about ready to grab Rocket by the head, I was like, can we fucking get this guy out of here, please? Like, I'm so fucking annoyed.
You just actually hit it on the mark for me. That's what it is. Because I don't want to take away his performance. He smoked the performance. You know what I'm saying? You hit it right on the mark. Because people take the villain topic as who I personally hate the most, who I'm like, I don't like you. That's where the villain ranking goes. So I see why everybody's like, oh no, I hate him more than everybody, because he's just a nasty animal, man. Like what? So that makes sense for me now. That makes me not as mad if somebody's like, now I still need y'all not say he's the next, make him Kang. What? I just think y'all saw he was.
I'm not in on that either.
Y'all say he's purple and a black man. Stop. Y'all saw the purple suits, and y'all were like, "Okay, there's something here." I'm just calling a spade. But no, he had a phenomenal performance. I think a part of it is definitely that we all hate him, so everyone's like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen somebody like that." It just made me think of like Namor as a villain and some of the villain and Green Goblin, and I'm like, "Oh snap, y'all got him over Green Goblin." Okay, but I see because of the personal. It's in a personal attachment though, and that, honestly, that's better. That makes a villain worse if you get connected.
Right.
Enough to not want to hate him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, okay. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
I don't know if we were going to circle back to it. One thing I wanted to ask y'all about, though, that second post-credit scene, the one that we got everybody raving about, that thing that pops up at the end, like the legendary Star-Lord.
That is important.
Will return. Like, I would love to hear what you guys think that would be, because like my one thought, like, everybody's like, I originally thought the whole Dennis, like some of the stuff you were saying, like this puts him in position on Earth, like maybe he can be doing things with Spider-Man or something. Then I started thinking, I don't trust any of these characters with anybody except James Gunn. And I don't think any of them are going to want to come out without him. So I'm like,
you got a new
I can see Star-Lord being in one episode of season 2 of What If, and then that's it. And that's what they meant by Star-Lord will return, because we see him once in What If, and then that'll be it. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Damn.
Adam.
Right
you
now,
know that's not what you Adam. That's what you want. And by the way, I feel you for the reason too. Like, James Gunn is literally the reason why we didn't even care about Guardian, and not in a mean way. We didn't care about the Guardians of the Galaxy before we saw the movie and what James Gunn did. Yeah. So you are spitting right now, but you know damn well they put his name because we gonna see him again. You talking about some What If one episode? We are gonna see that, man. Especially when they put the legendary. You know what I mean? Yes. I'm like, he's a legend now.
So they can surprise me.
Adam's just back. He's like, I bet they better not mess him up. They better not mess him up. No, I hear you, bro.
That's facts, bro.
Here's my thing. We were talking about a little bit. I know that there's rumors of like Nova coming in and stuff like that. I don't know how they're gonna do that. So maybe because there's a comic run, right, of the name Legendary Star-Lord. Mm-hmm. So that is, I didn't know that. So because of that, I could see maybe he gets to go back to do cosmic stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't. I think for him staying on Earth and them doing that scene, though, is just a call to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, though. Like, he gonna pull up, you know? Yeah. Now, after that, you might be right, Adam. I don't know if they'll go back to him, to be honest. Maybe because it's Chris Pratt on just a business thing. Like, that is a Chris Pratt, you know? He just did Mario. We're not gonna, like... It's not going to be that easy to get rid of you, but it's time. Like, a lot of years are going to come till they probably need to or want to use a Guardians type of thing again.
Right.
So I don't know. It's really interesting. Y'all got a guess of when y'all think we even going to see him again, or even the Guardians, let alone Star-Lord?
Does Star-Lord and Nova have any kind of like?
I heard, I could have been wrong, but I thought they have a comic thing together, at least one comic together. That's what I thought I heard. I could be wrong though.
I was watching a lot of breakdowns and Easter egg stuff, and people were saying, like, I guess there's a comic run that they have a lot. They have like a lot of interaction in, like,
that's
the Annihilation stuff, and like they have a lot of interaction and stuff from there. So I'm hoping that we get, because Nova is coming. So like I'm hoping that we get him back and something like that, or it's later down the road. I mean, they saying he's coming back. They said it. They said that. I didn't say that. They said that.
Right, he's gonna be here, but it's like, it's just, we all got that question because it's like, you by yourself. I love Star-Lord to death. You don't got powers no more, bro. You just like a gunslinger.
Speaking of, man, how do we feel about the whole, like, him not having his helmet and his
he said something about James Gunn said something about that on Twitter, but damn, I'd have to deep it.
He said it was in. He said the helmet was in his nightstand.
There you go.
But stuff happened so quickly he didn't get a chance to go back and get it.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
That was James Gunn's explanation on that.
And the stuff on his feet, like the rocket stuff too. He
said that got destroyed.
And did, but where? Yeah, did it though?
It got destroyed.
Or
he said it got destroyed.
He gave a reason for that too.
Okay.
But I think that's yeah.
Oh, I have one more big question. I'm sorry, y'all. Why didn't we see the arm again? Bucky's arm. I was wondering. I know it does not matter. It literally doesn't change anything. But like, what was he going to do with it? He just wants to sell it. Like, why he wanted it?
I mean,
I thought he was going to use it or flip it or something.
And like Rocket's, or like we know in the very beginning when Rocket walks into his bedroom, it would have just been cool to see it in a little.
To see it, right? Just be like, "Hi, I have this now."
Like that. That's so easy.
You know,
gotten the fucking prop from Captain, like, is it any? What's it called, Winter Soldier? No, not Winter.
Yeah,
New World
right.
Order. They're filming New World Order right now.
Yeah.
Maybe James Gunn couldn't get that order in for it and stuff.
That's probably why.
I don't know.
He said, I spent a lot on that CGI for these animals. Y'all asking for much. Y'all asking for much. Y'all see how good that raccoon look?
Bro, he been posting like test footage for the past 3 weeks.
It's Loki him flexing.
Every
I like
week,
it.
like it's
I
like
it.
just a little. It's like some stuff that they didn't use in the movie. Just Rocket running around on the ground.
He
And
said
it's
test
like,
screening because you know it looks good. Here's an animal. I'm like, all right, bro. I see it. I see it. No, it looks so. It's pretty good CGI. You know what I mean? It looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think we covered that movie, man.
No, facts. Question for y'all. This is the last thing. Y'all got your ratings for it because I know we talked about it.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Shit, if it ain't a 10, it's 9.5.
Okay.
And I'm only gonna say it because I don't have any problems with it. Even with little things that we're saying, like something that somebody else might consider a plot hole, like the Kraglin stuff, right? I still didn't dislike how he was used. It made sense how he was used in the movie.
Yeah.
Same with Cosmo. Every single person was used exactly the way it makes sense. And to me, I'm somebody that's like, if this makes sense and it's good and I have no problems with it, I'm only giving it a negative something just to do it, just to be mean. You know? Mm-hmm. It's like I don't see any I don't know anything that's too negative for me in the movie. So everybody did their job.
Right.
And it was a great last one. So
I agree with you on that. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. The little problems that I did have was like I feel like they're taste things. It's like little things that James Gunn does sometimes. That's like his style of writing. Maybe some of the jokes kind of went on a little long, maybe on certain parts. But that's nothing to strike the movie about. I feel like everything that he set out to do, he did, and it did it very well. Everybody got the resolution for their stories. Action was good. Emotion. I shed a tear over a raccoon, bro. Like what we do, like. No, that's. If that's not great filmmaking, I don't know what it is, man. Like
that needs to be in the shirt.
No, no, that's real though, bro. Like he really did a great job putting this thing together, and you could feel the love and the care from everybody involved. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's 9 out of 10 on my.
I want to say one last thing. I forgot when y'all are bringing up people crying and stuff in the movie. When Drex cries because of that man when he sees Mantis that y'all called out. Nah, bro. That's honestly when I cried, and it was only because in that scene I physically saw. That wasn't Drax. That was Batista crying because that was his last movie. Like you could literally see the way he did the lip was shaking. We all know if your lip's shaking, you're not trying to cry. You're holding that thing back. It didn't feel like, oh, this is one of those moments I'm in my acting bag. Like it looked so genuine. I'm like, oh, he was on set and broke after this, didn't he? You know what I mean? And that's what hit me really crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all rating.
Y'all
Sorry,
go ahead, man.
Dennis, go ahead.
I think in the group text I had it at a 7.5. After this conversation, I'm definitely moving it to an 8.
I like
you guys definitely talked me to an 8.
Can I hear where's the 2? Where the 2?
So I think 1 is probably like I'm not as attached to the Guardians as a lot of people are.
I can get
that.
Okay.
I just I love them. I grew with them, like most people did, but they're just like they're not my favorite characters. Mm-hmm. I think that's about it. But then also I would say, and I told you guys this in the chat too, like I thought High Evolutionary was really, really good. I thought he was mostly good in the first half of the episode of the movie, more so than the back half. When he started to lose himself, he felt like a lot of other people that would lose themselves. But like through the flashbacks and stuff, I thought he was really, really good. And then what was the other thing I had? I don't even remember. But I'm talk about the good though. Let's talk about the good. You're right. I want to talk about the good. I thought it was actually really cool to transition into Rocket being the main guy because I thought that from the first and second movie, like the bickering between him and Star-Lord was all I needed really. Like him telling Star-Lord, look, I'm the captain of the ship. Like they kept going back and forth. I'm the captain of the ship. I'm the captain of this team. And then for him to actually be the captain and be the main character of the story, I thought was pretty cool. Like transition from that. So yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot. The action was really good. The character development from everybody I thought was really good. Just how everybody learned from each other was really cool. Like Nebula learning from every single one of them, and she decides to be better at the end because of it. Just like not judging people and not being like, man, like you were saying, man, just putting everybody in their place was like awesome, man. Yeah, the characters were really well done. I think James Gunn did his thing. Yeah, that's really all I got. I'm a solid 8. It's a solid movie to me. That's the word I keep using. Solid,
Super
satisfying.
solid.
So yeah,
Awesome.
8.
Well, let's see. For me, when I watched this the first time, I'll be honest with y'all, I had it at a perfect 10 out of 10 because, like, for me, and I, like Dennis said, I understand the mileage is going to vary on this movie because of like different levels of attachment to the Guardians, and I completely understand that. Like, some people are just going to like the characters and get attached to them more than others, and that's perfectly okay. That makes perfect sense. For me, 2 things. I'm somebody that's attached as hell to these characters, and I have been for a long time. So like, I knew it was going to really hit for me.
Yeah.
And the second thing, like, the way to get me to love a movie is to play at my emotions. Like, I'm already an emotional person when it comes to this kind of stuff. And this movie, I teared up more times than I can count, like happy tears, sad tears, all this stuff that I never saw coming. And that's why, like, for me, it was on my first time, I gave it a 10 out of 10. It was perfect, like, with all the emotions and everything. I will say my final ranking, I'm going to give it a 9.5. I saw some people saying this, and maybe I let them influence me, and I'm almost mad at myself for thinking it now. But like, I saw some people saying that the middle part, like when they first get to Counter Earth, like may drag on like a little bit long. And then on my second viewing, I got to say, like, I did feel it a little bit in the middle, like when they first get, because I mean, there's like a good 30 to 40 minutes from the time they land the ship until the time stuff starts going down, like on the ship. I felt it a little bit there. That's the only thing that I'm going to knock like 9.5 points off. But like, it's still the second time, all the emotions still hit the same. And it was almost like a more enjoyable viewing because I wasn't like terrified somebody was going to die. Like, I knew everybody was going to come out safe, but all the, like, the emotional beats and stuff, like especially the feel good stuff, still hit all the same. So for me, I think finishing out, I'm with you, Cesar. I'm gonna close it at 9.5.
Sturdy.
Super sturdy. Yeah.
I will say they're all really rewatchable. The Guardians movies are really rewatchable. They have a
Some
lot
of the
that.
most, I feel like.
Yeah.
Right, in the MCU, yeah.
That counts for me. That's a big count for me.
Yeah.
When I
Just
rank
a movie
stuff,
fan,
it's just
right?
like rewatchability. How many times am I going to go back to this film, after I see it the first time?
It's a feel-good thing.
Right.
Yeah, easily throw it on, have fun.
Exactly. I'm not the most rewatch person. Like, once I see something, a lot of times, like, if it didn't really stick, or is it not like, I don't always go back to it. But like, I've seen the Guardians movies.
I was about to say, do you do that with
times.
Marvel in general? Do you sorry, real quick, with Marvel, do you just go back to see it again, just to see it again?
Certain
Always,
movies.
or only certain times?
Certain movies.
Oh, okay, certain.
Like, everything I haven't seen a billion times, but it's certain ones like Guardians.
So it matters
movies.
when it's rewatchable because of that, because you're
Exactly.
not doing it every
like
time.
Civil War.
Gotcha.
Infinity War Endgame. I've seen those a billion times. Even
Ain't
something
it
like
crazy they so long? But me too.
exactly right. Even something like Deadpool, like, which I'm super excited about. Deadpool 3 coming up. I've seen that. I've seen
Getting hyped. Look what you're
Super
doing.
hyped.
How you gonna promote? We don't even work for Disney
It's
yet.
Marvel. It's everybody's connected, right?
Kevin, you hiring? We'll round.
No, but that's like another movie that I've watched Deadpool a billion times.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those easy joints.
Yeah.
Like, and Guardians is in that good company of those
It's a
type of
family
movies.
film.
It is.
like
Feel
like
good.
Vin Diesel would say. Oh, we didn't shout out my man saying we got to real quick.
Yeah, go
so when he says, "I love you guys," that's what he says, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, James Gunn said that's not them hearing him for the first time. That's the audience hearing. We've been around Groot so long that it's the audience
We now understand.
understanding him, and that's just like, damn it, that's so nice.
That works for me. That hits me perfectly, man.
Amazing,
I'm a sucker
right?
for that kind of stuff.
Oh man, like he said, I was like, you didn't even have to say that. You probably made it up on Twitter today. Get out of here. But I like it's fire
That's
though.
facts.
I'm like, oh, that's
It's
so
fire.
fire. That's
I
so
feel like
hard.
he's throwing so much stuff out there that like Marvel's gonna have to like
Shut him
honor
down.
a lot of the things that he's like
Oh,
doing.
yeah, true.
Because he's like on his way out the door and he's just like, oh yeah, Groot. Now we can understand Groot, so now y'all got to pay Vin Diesel more money. And now like it's like little
Yo,
things.
you-
Like,
you
now
look-
y'all got to explain Bucky's arm. Y'all
Yo,
gotta, that's on y'all.
I said that because, bro, you're making a really good point. Because I'm like, if we see Thunderbolts and Bucky got that arm, something's wrong, bro. You supposed to be an amputee right now. I don't know, man. I don't know. But you're right though. James being funny. I feel like he know he's not supposed to do that. We know you funny, James. Don't do that. It's crazy.
Oh
That's
man,
funny.
man. Nah, but thank y'all for coming on and chatting about Guardians
y'all
of
the
this, man.
best.
This was fun.
Hold on, Cesar or Zen, what you rate it?
Oh,
He
9.
said 9.
Yeah, 9.
Oh, he said 9. Okay, got you. I didn't hear that.
Nah, it's up there. It's one of them ones, you know.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Nice.
But yeah, again, thank y'all for pulling up on us always, man. Y'all been on here multiple times, and we love y'all.
Yes, we do.
And thank you again, man.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything else?
Go see it again. See it in 4DX. Apparently 4DX is fire in it.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
There you go.
Right.
Look at me promoting Disney. Y'all better give me a job. I swear. I be making y'all money, man, over in Philadelphia. Y'all got to check us out.
No, that's
we doing
facts.
stuff.
That's facts. That's facts. But yeah, do y'all want to get y'all socials and everything before we get out of here?
Get it off.
Yeah, I'll say Adam Blevins _ on Twitter. And then obviously keep an eye out on the agentsofandom.com every Monday, sometimes Sunday night, but usually on Monday. I got recaps and reviews of the latest episodes of Succession. Dropping another thing. Keep an eye out on the site. We got all kinds of Guardians coverage. You know, we got box office, Easter eggs, cameos, all that kind of stuff. We got group ranking. There's even like 3 or 4 more articles coming in the next few days. So everybody keep an eye out for that. And then again, Adam Blevins _ on Twitter, and then Agents Fandom on Twitter as well.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Agents of Fandom people, man. So it was nice to finally meet you and be on with you, Adam. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, Dennis Smith of the Alternate Timeline. It's at the Alt Time on Twitter and IG. Also love all this content that we're doing and Guardians time right now. And but right now on the YouTube channel, heavily focusing on the reacting to Demon Slayer and Hell's Paradise. So a lot of anime stuff going on the channel right now, but a lot of Marvel stuff too. So just come check me out and make sure you like this video and subscribe to Listen 3000 for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all. Again, man, if y'all didn't know, this is the Agents of Fandom podcast.
It is.
Make sure you check out agentsofandom.com. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network, including Agents of Fandom, Ticket to Reality, Fandom Academy, and all the articles that we're dropping every single day, man. Going crazy, like Adam was saying. So much stuff. And it's going to be so much more stuff coming this year. We got Comic-Con stuff coming up. It's going to be crazy. So please tap in. And yeah, thanks again to the Sound Gallery for letting us use this spot and record. Yes.
And like, comment.
And subscribe.
Bang, bang.
Please do that.
See y'all.
Peace out.